Okay. Let me double check everything real quick. Okay, I think we're good. Okay. We're live. Is it like squished for you guys? Let me make sure it's not squished for you. Okay, no. Fantastic. Alright. We're gonna be kind of reviewing the Pokemon VGC 2025 Europe International Championships. So we're gonna start with the we're gonna start with Diego. I should probably not be saying the names because I'm gonna get them wrong. Anyways, if I butcher the names, sorry. I'm trying. Anyways, he brought a he got 24th place. 2,000. No, not 2,000. 200 champion points and $2,000. Wow. Top 24 gets you $2,000. That's crazy good. His team consisted of a Kyrex Ice Rider, Landorus Incarnate form. Interesting. You don't see many of those. Hearthflame Mask Ogerpon. Urshifu Rapid Strike. Roaring Moon and Amoonguss. So almost pretty standard team. This is actually a wild team, honestly. I'm assuming they probably don't even use Trick Room. That's crazy. Then at 23rd, Carrie got, again, the same pricing, but instead brought a Kyrex Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Ogerpon Hearthflame Mask, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and Raging Bolt. This looks like a pretty, normal, Shadow Rider team, as you'll see further on. Like, I think the only Pokemon that's, like, a little strange here is, honestly, the Raging Bolt. Because you don't see many of those, on these kind of teams. Then 22nd, Victor, brought a Koraidon, Fluttermane, Shiyu, Dondozo Tatsugiri, and, Galarian Weezing? I am honestly confused how this team even made it to 22nd. I'm gonna be real. This guy must be really good. And Tawny, I'm guessing, is the name. Brought a the same Kyrex Shadow Rider team. Oh, and then Paul at 20 brought the same. Oh no, he brought almost the same team except for he has a Raging Bolt instead of Roaring Moon, and an Incineroar instead of a Ogerpon, which I think is probably better. And I could actually see this team using Trick Room here. It's a lot more slow-paced than the other team. Then, Ruben... Why'd I say it with an accent? Don't do that, Andrew. That's a stupid idea. Anyways, he brought... Is this the same? No, this is almost the same, team as the 21st person and the 23rd person. The only difference there is he brought a Berry instead of what? What did he bring? Oh, instead of an Ogerpon Hearthflame Mask, which makes sense, honestly. And then who? One of those two? I don't know. I should stop trying to read the names. In 18th place, brought Miraidon, Iron Hands, Hearthflame Mask Ogerpon, Whimsicott, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and a Ridgeraft. It seems like this is starting to become the pretty standard Miraidon team from experience. I'm not gonna say this name because I can't tell what that's gonna be pronounced as, so we're just going to not say it. You know, that sounds like And he's bringing about the same Kyle Eric Shadow Rider team, except for he is not bringing Raging Bolt. He's bringing that actually makes sense. Yinshao is one of the Pokemon that gets Upper Hand, Fake Out, and Wide Guard, so it does have a lot of support capabilities with Shadow Rider, especially against grudge matches. Having that Wide Guard. Then top 16, we have a we actually have a Galapagos here in top 16 with Incineroar. Ogerpon Cornerstone Mask. Cornerstone Mask seems to be increasing in popularity lately because it's the only rock type that has 100% accurate rock type. Also, Sturdy allows you to just follow me without, like, insta-dying. So it makes sense why it's popular, because it is good. Tornadoes, that's pretty good. Support, because it can set up the stuff. I feel like almost every team that Galapagos is on, this is on too. And then Rapid Strikes. Then we have at 15, Calyrex Shadow Rider, Fluttermane, Rillaboom, Chi-Yu, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Lungus. This is actually, I feel like it's a pretty common setup for Shadow Rider, just because there's so much support for it on this team. So yeah, I can understand how they made it pretty far. And then above him, James Evans. Too well. Those who know. Brought a Calyrex Shadow Rider, a Cornerstone Ogerpon, for the same reasons that it did. This is for speed, Landorus Incarnate, speed control, Urshifu. Oh, Shenpao. That's unique. And then, Lungus. Shenpao is very interesting. I can see where it synergizes on this team. It's just shocking. It's not very popular anymore. It's just like there's so many good counters that legendaries have to this Pokemon. It just makes it not as strong. Anyways, moving on. 13th brought Zamazenta, Earthflame Ogerpon, Shenpao again, and just a Dondozo. Raging Bolt, Tinglu. This is a very interesting team. It looks like his team was built to be pretty bulky. That's kind of what I'm seeing is bulkiness. Probably to it's probably his team is built so the damage Pokemon can do damage, and then the tanking Pokemon can just tank all the damage, just do the damage. Number 12 brought the Calyrex Shadow Rider. Oh, and a Iron Hands. That's unique. With the Urshifu Rapid Strike, a Dragonite. That's crazy. I didn't think I'd see many of those anymore. Shenpao. Looks like and Galarian Weezing. Oh, that makes this all makes sense now. Okay, Galarian Weezing can turn off abilities, and it doesn't affect Shadow Rider, which means the only things it affects are these guys, and the only two that really like their abilities is Shenpao and Urshifu. Dragonite and Iron Hands to clear less if their abilities are turned off, and even then, Shenpao and Urshifu don't necessarily need their abilities to be good. They just like them. Anyways, when did they go to 300 and 3,000? So at 16th, you get 300 CP and $3,000. Cool. Moving on to number 11, brought Miraidon Iron Hand. He brought the standard Miraidon team. Yeah, this is a very standard Miraidon team. Then at number 10, we have a Terapagos, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Heatran. That's unique. Cornerstone Ogerpon, and then a Screamtail. Wow, these are some really unique picks there. Number 9 brought Calyrex Ice Rider, Landorus Incarnate, Cornerstone Ogerpon, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Raging Bolt. Oh, a Grimmsnarl. Interesting. There's another Grimmsnarl in the top 10. That's really cool. Looks like Grimmsnarl might be playable, guys. Actually, that makes sense. It can take out Miraidon, and it has a lot of utility on it. Okay, and then at 8th, you get 380 CP and $5,000. And this person brought a Kayak Shadow Rider, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Urshifu Rapid Strike, a Pelipper, and a Clefairy. It's a very unique team. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. Pelipper kinda looks like the weakest link. Honestly, if he had something better than Pelipper on this team, he could have probably gone further. Or not him, whoever this person is, could have probably made it further if he didn't bring if they didn't bring Pelipper. So bad at this team. Alright, and then number 7 brought Miraidon, Iron Hands. Oh, Entei. That's cool. Urshifu Rapid Strike, and the other Grimmsnarl, and Farigiraf. There's a third Grimmsnarl in top 10. That's wild. Anyways, this team has the same setup, except for they have a Ditto instead of Farigiraf, which is very unique, and a Volcarona over an Entei. Very unique. Very, very unique. We have a Kyogre in top 5? That's wild. Iron Hands, Tornadoist makes sense. You kind of need that on this team. Rapid Strike is probably your best Pokemon to partner with the Rain. Chenpao, we've seen a few of those, and Amoonguss is pretty standard. Number 4, you start to, once you reach number 4, we got 420 CP and $7,000 in prize. And he brought a Miraidon, Iron Hands, Pokemon Flame Mask, Whimsicott, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and Farigiraf. That's number 3 gets the same pricing. And then they brought a Ice Rider, Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, Ogerpon Quarterstone, Urshifu Rapid Strike, and an Amoonguss. Honestly, Chi-Yu's really interesting on this team. Very interesting. And then number 2, they got 480 CP and $10,000 for prize, and they brought a Miraidon, Incineroar, Iron Hands, Urshifu Single Strike, and a Iron Treads, and Farigiraf. Very cool. And Wolfglick got 500 CP, $15,000, and he was bringing a Koraidon, Fluttermane, Incineroar, Gothitelle. Why did I say Gothitelle? Screamtail, and Amoonguss. So this is obviously a Perish Trap team. So that's pretty cool. Let's go to usage stats. So in Top Cut, there was a 33% usage in Shadow Rider. As far as restricteds go, being 8 of them, 25% people in Top Cut brought Miraidon. 16.67% of them brought Ice Rider, and then 8.33% of them brought Koraidon and Terrapagos, and 4.17% brought Kyogre and what's his face? Zamazenta. And then the non-restricted Pokemon, 79.17% brought Urshifu Rapid Strike. So Urshifu Rapid Strike, if you're building a competitive team, this is the Pokemon to make sure you counter for. 110%. Then at 41%, you got Incineroar. 33.33% has Amoonguss and Iron Hands. So Iron Hands seems to be coming back up into the meta, so keep an eye on that. 29% brought Ogerpon Hearthflame and Rillaboom. And then 25% brought Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt is probably another Pokemon you need to keep your eye on if you're building a team, because it's starting to come up and back into the scene competitively. And Cornerstone Ogerpon. Yeah, these two make sense. They kind of are the strongest. Like, this offensively is the best one. This one defensively is probably the best one. 16% of people brought Chenpao and Fluttermane. Interesting. Chenpao seems to be coming back up. That's cool. 12.50% brought Chi-Yu, Clefairy, Grimmsnarl, Landorus, Tornadus, and Whimsicott. Interesting. We're not even gonna go over these because barely anyone brought any of these Pokemon, but they're here. Let's go to just 20. So the most used. So someone brought Turnitus. People brought Ho-Oh. People brought Rayquaza. Some people brought Lunala. That makes sense. Lunala is starting to come up in the meta a little bit. Honestly, Groudon, surprising that it's even this high up. Same with Zacian. Koraidon, kind of in the place that I would imagine it being in. Kyogre is higher than I thought it would be. Terrapagos, kind of in a really good, yeah, I feel like these two are kind of gonna be in this little area, because that's just how they are. Zamazenta was brought, a lot of people brought Rhydon, Ice Rider, and so yes. Shadow Rider is definitely the legendary to look out for. Yeah, and it is 100%. This is the Pokemon I'd be looking for. And yeah, this guy's coming up. Interesting. Let's look at so we can, yeah, no, so yeah, very interesting usage stats here. There's some very interesting Pokemon here. So I don't know if I'm allowed to show you guys the final match and kind of go over that on Twitch. So I don't necessarily think I will. But if you go to my YouTube, I will do it on YouTube because I know I can do it on YouTube without getting in trouble. So if you don't want to miss that, go subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Yeah. Oh, my face was probably covering a lot of that, wasn't it? Oops. Okay, my bad. Moving on to the next thing. I don't really have a plan for what's next. No, that's the wrong thing I wanted to... Yeah, I don't... We're gonna watch this match, and I'm gonna kind of give you guys a play-by-play. Okay, Wolfglick's team, he's got the, Life Orb on his, Koraidon with Protect, Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Flame Charge. Interesting, he's not using the signature move. Is Close Combat really just that much more stronger? I might have Damage Calcs and go to Damage Calcs and look at that. Amoonguss is a pretty normal Amoonguss build. Oh, and Terrifier. And then Incineroar is also standard. Other than the fact that he is Terra Bug, that's crazy. That's wild. I don't understand. There's probably a reason. He's smart enough to have a reason for that, but that's a strange, wild thing. His Scream Tail is kind of what you would expect from a Scream Tail, especially on a Perish Trap team. Gothorita, no, not Gothorita. Gothitelle is also pretty standard. And his Fluttermane is also. Oh, his Fluttermane is a Focus Sash Terra Normal. Interesting. Let's go to his opponent. Let's see what his opponent has. It's standard Miraidon. In the standard Terra Fairy Miraidon, I should say. Mostly standard. Oh no, this is actually a very interesting Farigiraf. It's got Psychic Seed, Electric Seeds actually, and Terra Water. Roar is also pretty crazy. Trick Room and Helping Hand. Interesting. His Incineroar is also pretty standard, one of the standard builds for Incineroar. Then he's got his Urshifu Single Strike with Detect, Wicked Blow, Sucker Punch, Close Combat, Focus Sash, Air Dark. That's pretty. I feel like that's a pretty average setup for that Pokemon. And then he's got his Terra Ghost Choice Band Iron Treads with Iron Head, High Horsepower, Rock Slide, and Steel. That is very cool, very unique. Then his Iron Hands is a pretty standard Iron Hands. It's got the Drain Punch, Low Kick, Heavy Slam Takeout with Terra Poison. Terra Poison's actually pretty unique. And Assault Vest is normal. So let's get into their game, shall we? I do have the volume turned off and stuff, so issues. So the leads are Incineroar, Single Strike, Koraidon, and Fluttermane. This puts Wolflick in I feel like a pretty high advantage point here. I feel like he's got a very nice advantage here with this team. Let me make it so I can see the chat just in case. That's all I'm doing, sorry. Alright, back to this. Let's actually see if this is as big an advantage as I think it is. Okay. Okay. So, let's see what Wolf here is going to do against his opponent's lead. Oh, I feel like, yeah, no, never mind, because that's a single strike. So yeah, that's a. Is he gonna make a double switch? That would be pretty aggressive. Oh yeah, he is kind of put in a little bit of a pickle here because there's not really a great swap in for Koraidon here. And his Koraidon is weakened by Intimidate, so I can understand why he's kind of thinking about switching. But he is going to swap out for that Incineroar, which is a really good move. There's not really much ways for his opponent to punish that. Unless they predict it and go close combat into the Incineroar. Yeah, fake out. Oh, that's what he was trying to figure out. Get around. But looks like that kind of went. I feel like that kind of went in Wolfie's favor. Fluttermane. Be pretty. Looks like he's going to just swap. Oh, he's playing swappies here. Why did I say it like that? He's basically gonna just keep swapping it between Incineroar and Fluttermane and keep his opponent on his toes. Is what it looks like. Or is it? It might be just so that way he can stall long enough to get rid of that Urshifu Rapid Strike. I mean, Single Strike. That's probably it. His opponent seems pretty happy about this though, or just kind of like, yeah, I should have called it like that. Doesn't look like his opponent is too upset about this switch. So let's see what is happening here. Oh. Opponent is going to be terastallizing his Incineroar. Interesting choice for that Terra Ghost. That does make sense. Unfortunately, I don't went into the Incineroar slot, which means this Terra is kind of just. Oh, that's actually really good. That was a really good call by his opponent. U-turn into the Fluttermane is not going to do a lot of damage. But he does get to swap out his Pokemon. For a Farigiraf? Interesting. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Oh, I guess it does threaten the Koraidon here, and Fluttermane can't catch it. So that is actually a really good move. He's gonna go for the Shadow Ball. I'm assuming he's probably predicting a switch here in the Urshifu. I feel like the Urshifu does not want to stay in here. Even though it could take out the Fluttermane, I really don't think the Urshifu wants to be here right now. Yeah. Yeah, the Urshifu does not want to be in this situation. It's just depending on who he swaps out into. And it is going to be that Incineroar. And unfortunately for him, Wolf called it and went for the Shadow Ball, less in Flare Blitz. So his opponent is going to take a lot of damage here. And since that Terra Fire is going up, there's not much that Redraft can do to punish Wolf for doing this move. So Wolf is gonna kind of walk away with that Incineroar kill. Unfortunately, that Rocky Helmet plus recoil is going to do a little bit of a number on Koraidon's HP, plus the Life Orb. Trick Room is gonna come out now. That could be very problematic for Wolf. Especially now that his Flutter Mane is the slowest thing on the field. The Urshifu is gonna come back since it is gonna be probably one of the faster Pokemon on the field now. And it is going to be able to take a kill potentially. So Wolf has gotta play this very carefully. I feel like his opponent, there's not much that, I still think that the Trick Room really isn't that punishing. And depending on, oh, he's just gonna go in for it. Okay. I mean, that does make sense though, like he's got really nothing to lose here. Due to the fact that he still has 2 Pokemon in the back while his opponent only has 1. And I'm assuming he probably already has a plan for that, that is unfortunate that the Flutter Mane does go down there. I think Wolf just hope that the damage calcs would have gone differently there. But he is going to bring the Urshifu to Sash at least. So that is going to be good for Wolf. Unfortunately though, that does mean Koraidon is going to lose a little more HP there. And with that, plus that Psychic, Koraidon is on some life support pretty much. But the Amoonguss is coming out, and the Amoonguss is probably one of the most threatening Pokemon on the field right now. Yeah. It 100% is. Wolf seems to be attacking with Amoonguss, which is probably a good idea here since he can get some damage off while safely, really safely swapping into Incineroar here. I just not sure about his target here. The Redraft feels like it could, like, I understand that he does need to get some shift damage off on that thing, but like also, he is leaving Urshifu alive, but again, probably isn't that big of a deal since, the Urshifu is going to swap out. I really don't understand. Oh, it's because, yeah, it would get outspeeded by, snakes. Also, now he can't put Pokemon to sleep. Even though, I don't think Wolf has that in mind. Unfortunately, that speed... Oh, no, it's defense. Oh, that's going to be really tough for Wolf to break through. But Incineroar is going to come out and is going to be a bit of a problem for his opponent. Giving him a little bit of, allowing him to save his, Koraidon for later. The Amoonguss is going to take that very nicely. The sun is going to go down, unfortunately, although I don't think that really affects the field right now. And it looks like Wolf is going to probably, I'm assuming he'll probably Rage Power potentially, kind of distract things, or he could just go into the Miraidon with Sludge Bomb. I feel like that was where this is greatest thing. I feel like he kind of really wants to focus Miraidon. For draft, it may also, just like for his Incineroar, I mean, he'll probably want to focus the Miraidon. Yes, I do play it myself, quite frequently. Oh, that Psychic into the Amoonguss is not going to be enough to take it out, so this puts Wolf in quite actually probably one of the best positions that Wolf can be in right now. Due to the fact that he now does have another turn to attack in the Trick Room, causing more chip, or he could just pivot, allowing Regenerator. So Wolf is in a pretty good position here. Looks like he's going to. He's taking a sweet time. He's going to do this here. Which does make sense because this is a very important thing for him to get right. I did not see what he clicked on his Amoonguss, but I'm assuming it was probably. Sure. You can build me a VGC team. Oh, he went for the double protect. That's not a bad move for him. I don't think his opponent. There's nothing that is. Oh no, he didn't go for that. I didn't see what his Incineroar. Oh, Incineroar is gonna go down. That is good information though for Wolf to have. That Incineroar doesn't. It probably won't be very long. Let's see, how long is this? Oh, this is a 47-minute long video? Oh, it's because of the downtime stuff. I'll be done after this, game. So, this is the first, match of the game. No, this match. This is the first game of the match, so once they get their best of 3 out of the way, that's kind of when I'll probably pivot to Scarlet and playing Scarlet and Violet stuff. I don't know if I'll climb ladder because I really don't like my team that I currently have right now. I do have a team on Showdown that I need to build at some point. I'm just lazy. I did not see what he's doing with his Amoonguss, but I have a feeling it probably will be probably Rage Powder. Oh no, Protect. Oh, he went for the double protect with the Amoonguss? It's pretty crazy. That close combat is going to go seriously hard into, yes, I do have both versions of the game. I do own both. Koraidon is gonna go down, unfortunately. But I think Wolf is okay with taking a loss here, because he did gather some really good information. I mean, you know, it wouldn't have been the first time someone accidentally attacks their Pokemon in a VGC match. So. But Wolf did gather some very important information, like how Wicked Blow from the Urshifu can kill his Fluttermane, and the fact that his Incineroar cannot live an attack from the Miraidon, so he does have some he has gathered some seriously good information here with this game, so I don't think Wolf is too upset about taking the loss for the first game, and since this is the first game, you can't really be punished that much for the first loss. Oh, I see now. That makes more sense. I thought you were saying like the Miraidon attacking the Giraffe, which, okay, let's get into the next match. Hello, I thought I skipped to it. Did not skip far enough. Okay, so his opponent is leading. Oh, I paused too early. Okay, so we have Incineroar, Giraffe, Fluttermane, and Koraidon. I honestly think his opponent, Wolf's opponent here, has the upper hand with this lead, but that can change very quickly and very fast. So, but as it stands, I would use his name, but I can't pronounce that name, so I'm not gonna try to butcher it. He is in a very good position, but Wolf could probably change it around very quickly, depending on what he decides to do. The only thing that he needs to watch out for is the fact that that Incineroar does still have access to Fake Out. But it looks like he's going to kind of ignore the potential Fake Out and just kind of go for the Giraffe and deal as much damage as possible. Which could actually potentially benefit him if it is successful, because then Trick Room cannot come up and it will prevent his opponent from Trick Room shenanigans. So yeah, that Terra is going to protect Incineroar from, no, not Incineroar. It's going to protect Rhydon from Psychic being super effective here. That minus special attack is going to be seriously bad for the Giraffe here. Trick Room is going to go up, and this could be problematic for Wolf. He's put in a little bit of a rough situation here where he needs to kill the Giraffe, but also he needs to not ignore the Incineroar, because Incineroar being ignored is never a good idea, and that thing will, Incineroar is strong enough to show you that it is something you can't ignore. It looks like he's going to not ignore the Incineroar and swap out into his own Incineroar, which I think is a phenomenal option to go into here. It is going to weaken any potential attacks from that Incineroar happening, and that's kind of all it. It does seriously weaken that damage there. That close combat is not going to be enough to take out the Incineroar. That's not fantastic for Wolf here. He kind of did need that to be a... Oh! Giraffe is going to go for the Roar into the Incineroar slot to swap it out. That is crazy. The Miraidon is actually coming out here. I'm not sure if that's a good thing that he's bringing it out this early. It is going to allow that Giraffe, though, to get its defense boost like in the last game. But, it's not completely a bad position for Wolf here to be in, due to the fact that he has already stalled 2 turns of the Trick Room pretty successfully. No, not 2 turns, it's only been 1 turn of Trick Room, hasn't it? Looks like he is going to protect and just go for, oh, it looks like he's going to try to just, shut down the Miraidon's damage output here. And it looks like his opponent is going to reveal his final Pokemon being Iron Hands. Which is quite interesting to switch it out here. Wolf is going to get that Protect, which means, unless the Miraidon decided to go for the Incineroar, which it doesn't longer matters because Parting Shot will go first, allowing Wolf to pivot for free. Let us see what he's going to pivot into. Probably Amoonguss. Amoonguss is probably one of the best options he can make here, with that Trick Room still up. But he could also just go into Flutter Mane and not care that the Trick Room is up. That is always an option, especially with that Focus Sash. But it does look like he is going to go for that Amoonguss, which is always a terrifying thing for his opponent to see in Trick Room, especially now that it is going to be the fastest Pokemon on the field, and it looks like his opponent failed to get his Volt Switch off. I think putting Wolf in probably the best position here. Looks like Wolf is going to switch out Koraidon for that Incineroar to probably nerf the damage of the Iron Hands that could come out here. And then it looks like he's going to just go with some chip into a Rhydon with Amoonguss, which we do know will allow the Rhydon later on to OHKO. It will allow the Rhydon to KO the Rhydon here. And that Intimidate is going to be problematic for the Iron Hands, even with that attack boost. He is going to fake out the Amoonguss, and that means Rhydon is going to be able to get that Volt Switch off, but unfortunately it just doesn't do a lot of damage. With Incineroar out, there is not much his opponent can do to it. If he fakes out, depending on which fake out targets Wolf chooses, or if choosing fake out at all is his plan. It looks like he's just kind of planning on stalling out the Trick Room here. Going for that Protect, and you can still go for that chip damage since Amoonguss is still technically the fastest, even though his opposing opponent's Incineroar could always fake out. But there is a chance that his opponent's Incineroar does not use fake out, so it is worth that Sludge Bomb. Rhydon is coming back out. Very interesting choice here. That does kind of make Wolf's Protect a little less powerful. But it looks like the Amoonguss is going to go before the Incineroar, taking it out. Very good. That was very good for Wolf here. The Sunlight is going to stop, and Trick Room is going to stop. But his opponent does still have the Farigiraf, which means he could still potentially set it up. But he is going to go into that Iron Hands, probably fake out pressure. Especially since now Incineroar cannot protect this turn without potential failure. It looks like Wolf is going to try to potentially nerf one of his opponent's Pokemon. It looks like he's going to try to turn down the Iron Hands from being too strong, and it looks like he is going to gather the attention of the Rhydon. Oh, never mind. Yes, no, it looks like that is what he's going to do, is make the Amoonguss grab the attention here of his opponent's two Pokemon. Unfortunately, that Fake Out is going to stop that from happening, and the Volt Switch is going to be enough to knock out the Incineroar, unfortunately. Without Trick Room, and now that Rhydon cannot no longer be faked out because it's only Fake Out user, his opponent's Fake Out user is going to the field and had already used Fake Out. Which means there's not much that can stop Rhydon. And with that Electric Terrain going down, that Iron Hands does lose its attack boost, making Rhydon a very big threat here. And it does look like Wolf is going to... It looks like, yeah, Wolf is going to take full advantage of the fact that his Rhydon is the biggest threat on the field by making sure that his opponent cannot get that Trick Room up again. That is a very smart play because that Trick Room could be the thing that would decide this game. His opponent is going to switch out into the Miraidon, though, into the close combat. That is going to be a little unfortunate for his opponent, because this close combat is still going to do a lot of damage, even if it doesn't take out the Pokemon. It is going to do a lot of damage. Also, I just realized, I don't think his opponent has Grasslands. Interesting. He is holding Terra. Yeah, that Miraidon is put in pretty critical condition, and the low kick from Iron Hands is going to do absolutely nothing. Allowing Wolf to just safely go for the same play, potentially failing the Miraidon here. So let's see if it pays off. His opponent could go into Terra Fairy, and potentially, depending on how much defense investment he has, he could live. But is it worth it? It looks like it was not worth it to his opponent to Terastallize here. That close combat is going to take out the Miraidon. Yes. Heavy Slam is going to... wow, it's going to take out the Amoonguss. Unfortunately, though, Fluttermane is in the back, and can no longer safely set up Trick Room, which puts Wolf in a very good position here, and there's not much his opponent can do to stop him from winning this game. He is going to just double into that. It looks like he's doubling into the Iron Hands, which is not a bad decision since there's not much Farigiraf here can do. That Terra Poison is going to reduce some of the damage that Iron Hands could take here, but I don't think it's going to be enough since Wolf did kind of plan on his opponent terrestrializing here, which means it is going to unfortunately take down the Iron Hands. Leaving his opponent with just a Farigiraf, and Farigiraf does not have the damage output to take out the Koraidon, which means Wolf wins this game. Even with Trick Room, there's just not enough damage on the board for his opponent to win, and he still has that full health Fluttermane here. So Wolf does have this in the bag. Looks like he is going to protect Koraidon here, and he's gonna double protect. I'm not sure what that does, if he does actually go for double protect here. Oh, I think he's stalling for time to think and plan. Ah, yes, that's what he's doing. I think he's like making another turn for him to plan out his next strategy here. He is going to be waiting for that final click of the counter. So it looks like Wolf is going to gather some more information by protecting, allowing him to plan more. And it looks like if you look at the little like camera there, he is 100% taking advantage of this. Now I think he is going to probably wait for the last second to play his final move again. And plan his next lead. Since we do know what's going to happen here, there's no point in staying in this game. Let's move on to game number 3. The game number 3 leads are Incineroar, Farigiraf, and Koraidon. I think this does put Wolf in the advantage. No, wait, I just went backwards. Oh, I see what I did here. Okay, my bad. The real leads for the 3rd match is Urshifu Single Strike, Incineroar, Fluttermane, and Koraidon, so the same leads as Whoop! Oh. Putting, I think, this does put pressure on Wolf's side because there's not much that his opponent has to worry about with these 2 Pokemon on the field. But that Fluttermane, if his opponent decides to not go for Sucker Punch, could potentially end his Pokemon here. But it looks like Wolf is going to just deal some damage on the field. Koraidon is going to get faked out, but the Moonblast is going to hit and take down the Urshifu to Sash. That is a very good play here by all sides so far. Close combat into that Koraidon is going to do a lot of damage, but it is not going to be enough to take it out. Putting Wolf in a pretty comfortable position here, because there's not much his opponent can do here to take out Koraidon. That's really what Wolf needs to have on the field here. It looks like he's going to probably go for the Flame Charge to get a speed boost on his Koraidon, which is not at all a bad decision here. Oh, maybe that's what he's doing? Is he gonna go for the Flame Charge to get that speed boost? I don't think he's too sure about it. He is going to go for that speed boost, and he is going to swap out into his own Incineroar. I feel like that is that puts him in a very good position here. taking out the only threat on his opponent's side of the field to the Incineroar, and also lessening any damage coming out from the opposing Incineroar here. There is a Terra coming out. I will check out your team in a minute once this game is over, because this is the last game of the match. Alright, that Terra Ghost is going to not do much for his opponent, unfortunately, because he did go for the Flame Charge into that Urshifu, taking it out and getting him a speed boost. Very cool. His opponent's Incineroar is going to go for that Polar Blitz, taking out the Koraidon. Which is a little unfortunate for Wolf here, but Wolf is not yet out of the game quite yet, because there is not much that his opponent has to threaten the Flutter Mane anymore, which means the Flutter Mane can come out here and deal some serious damage and be a very big problem. It looks like the Farigiraf is the thing in the back, and I'm assuming it's probably mains that the last Pokemon is going to be Miraidon, most likely, for the opponent. And it looks like he is going to take out that, Incineroar here. That is a pretty big power play there. Incineroar is going to be swapping out. Oh! And the Miraidon is going to come out, but Wolf did just double into this Miraidon here, which means this Miraidon could potentially be going down. That defense boost from on the Farigiraf is going to help very little here, because this Miraidon is about to take a lot of damage here from the double in. Potentially even being, not quite enough to take it out, but enough to put Miraidon in a bit of a peculiar situation here. And Trick Room is going to go up, which is a little bit problematic for Wolf here, but it's not completely over for Wolf either, because of the Focus Sash on that Flutter Mane, which means they have to double into Flutter Mane to kill it, which means Incineroar can kinda play around with and kind of ignore his opponent's Pokemon, since they have to double into the Flutter Mane if they don't Rhydon to go down, which means he can safely Parting Shot the Miraidon here. And just in case if his opponent did decide to, he is going to switch back into the Incineroar. Doesn't do much for him, since Wolf's Incineroar is going to be swapping out here. And that Protect is going to re-ensure that Flutter Mane does not go down this turn. Parting Shot is going to go into the Miraidon, and it is going to allow him to swap out into the Amoonguss, I believe was what he had in the back. Yes, the Amoonguss. Which means he is put in a very good position to kind of just play with his opponent. His opponent did call the Parting Shot, though, so he did go for that Volt Switch, but it doesn't do much damage to the Amoonguss, because Amoonguss is Amoonguss. It is going to allow the Farigiraf to come out, but unfortunately, it does not stop this Flutter Mane, and Fake Out also does not stop this Flutter Mane, which means this Flutter Mane can kind of go for an attack for free, and it looks like Wolf is going to probably take advantage of that free attack that he's going to get with his Flutter Mane, potentially taking out the Incineroar, and is going to go for, he's going to go for that Terra Dark. Interesting. Oh, for the Psychic. Oh, wow, that's crazy good. He is going to go for that Terra onto the Amoonguss. Amoonguss is going to become a dark type. And that helping hand into the Incineroar is not going to be very much help with this Amoonguss using Rage Powder, forcing the Incineroar's attack into this Amoonguss. And that Flare Blitz might be enough to take out the Amoonguss, and it is, but unfortunately, it is not enough to save the Incineroar on his opponent's side. The Incineroar is probably also going to be going down here with that damage that it just took from the chip, and the Shadow Ball is probably going to be enough to take out that Incineroar, and it is, making this a 2v2. And this puts, I feel like, Wolf in the higher advantage point here, because I believe this is the third turn of Trick Room. Incineroar's gonna come out too, becoming a bit of a problem zone for them. Unfortunately, the Incineroar cannot go for a fake out because of the Giraffe, but it does not look like Wolf is too worried about that and is going to just go for that Moon Blast into the Miraidon, and he's going to double into the Miraidon, just confirming that he takes it out. That is not a bad play by any means. That's a very good play. Okay. Psychic is going to go into that Flutter Mane, breaking its sash, but it's not enough to take it out, down to 1 HP, so that means potentially— oh, and Miraidon gets burnt. That is also going to be problematic for his opponent, meaning his Miraidon is now on a timer. Unfortunately, this is going to be enough to take out the Flutter Mane, but his opponent does have the burn on the Miraidon, meaning the Miraidon does go down next turn no matter what, which does allow Wolf to just protect here without any consequence. But it looks like he's just going to go in for the damage, which isn't a bad idea, since if the Miraidon goes down here, Wolf just loses the game. No, not Wolf. His opponent just loses the game once this Miraidon goes down, because Incineroar is immune to Psychic, which is the only attack the Giraffe has, meaning Wolf kind of has this game in the bag. And it looks like his opponent is just going to accept that defeat by taking out his own Miraidon and letting Incineroar hit the Giraffe. Trick Room does go down, but it really doesn't matter because the Incineroar cannot be damaged by the Giraffe, which means the battle is cancelled, and Wolf wins the Europe Internationals. Very cool. You posted a team in the chat.